bridge as well as the zone itself, and getting half the points down the board in their first singular push.
Right now, I'm not seeing, not Wicked Ink, but Electric Boogaloo really using their specials on the zone, which I'm kind of confused about because it's like, Wicked Ink is kind of having a pretty commanding lead right now. They're really holding them out well. And even though Electric Boogaloo has a lot of painting specials like Rain, they have the Waller, they're not really using them at all.
Well, we saw a little bit there in that last set where two insurance were happening right over the zone on top of each other. It's been any other practice map, it's been a very effective strategy, but that bridge really cuts down on the utility of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if they were wanting to stack on two specials like that, if anything, they should have gone Bubbles, because Bubbles are, like, especially on the Reef, are very strong at getting the zone back.
Oh, for sure. It makes it a nice, easy area to just coax a lot of Bubbles in as you're able to just build them up and splat them in whenever you need them.
Right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Wicked Ink. Talon and Saber trying to go out together, but unfortunately, both on the side of Electric Boogaloo, they're also sticking together really well and just actually starting to set up cold, getting a lot of more map control.
Yeah, I definitely like the buddy system. Getting a low double kill here on almost full life down on the side of Wicked Ink. This is definitely their time to take back this lead.
It looks like it might not happen though with Electric Boogaloo just taking a really time, just not pushing forward, overextending, and allowing themselves to just hold that lead while Wicked Ink tries to push back in.
Yeah, maybe actually go in favor of Electric Boogaloo here. They're usually getting in, however, we do see Wicked Ink capitalizing on that.
Nice double from Zerbs. Can he make it a triple? Unfortunately, he just decides to let the bucket kind of go away, which isn't a totally bad decision. Probably needs to, just let the rest of his team get more map control, get more of a hold. Plus, he's a long-range weapon right there. He probably shouldn't have gone in on a ramp like that.
Yeah, I agree. We do see that here coming out with a lot of pressure on the side of Electric Boogaloo.
Right now, I think we just need to see a lot more map control again from Wicked Ink like they had in the first part of the match, and then they can really get back to taking the zone and just kind of do what Electric Boogaloo was doing to them, holding the zone and not really pushing forward and needing to just hang back and let the zone count down.
For sure. And we do see, it all just swings right back. There's constant pressure sitting in, using their main weapon more so than their subs and stuff to get in there, capitalize the zone, and focus down on the side of Wicked Ink.
Right now, Wicked Ink is in control of the zone. I think if they really just push up onto their plat a little bit more and still keep them out, not overextend, but just keep them from coming right back directly on the zone, they could definitely hold and get the lead here.
What Electric Boogaloo really needs to do at this point is make effective use of that bridge. If they're able to get into position and start forcing Wicked Ink to back up a little bit, not necessarily gaining that full map control, which will certainly be in their favor, but just push them back slowly but surely.
Right there, it's like we said, Electric Boogaloo, unfortunately not being able to fight that buddy system that Wicked Ink had. They were just sitting on the zone. They didn't see the need to overextend. And thankfully, also not sitting directly on the zone and dying on it. But they were able to just keep that hold, push them out, and get the lead back.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of that composition came down to just the structure of the map itself, and I think we're going to see a very different kind of gameplay going into this second set of Rainmaker, Sturgeon, Shipyard.
Personally, I'm not too much of a fan of Sturgeon as a map. I feel like it's kind of limiting in your options to get back into there. Either you have to go on those, what I like to call steps on the right, or you're having to come up to that ramp, because if you're trying to come from that left where it's like a drop down, the enemy sees you coming, and it's really hard to get back in.
Yeah, the number one thing that I hate seeing on Sturgeon Shipyard is the almost full-hearted dedication of going the left side box push. No matter how many players are sitting up in that top position, no matter what the defense, how many specials they have, it's go left.
Right?
Consider the right. There's a lot of opportunity that you have, especially whenever they are fully set up camp on that left side. A quick right push is, even though it takes a bit longer to get those points in, can be very effective to just get points on the board. Because if you're stuck on that box, you're not going to get anything.
Exactly.
It's better to get something than nothing.
I think what some people kind of tend to forget regarding, especially Rainmaker as a mode, is that each map kind of has that quick, quick points when you need that desperate lead versus the quick slow, or not the quick slow push, but the slow push where you can slowly get, keep jumping back in and slowly keep adding pressure as you keep pushing the enemy back into spawn. And that right route is definitely the slow push that you can keep adding pressure and overwhelming the enemy on.
And I think we're seeing about the exact same composition coming out of both teams here. Both Wicked Ink and Electric Boogaloo running about, I think, the exact same setup as they were on the Splatoon. So a lot of that short range aggression with a little bit of long range carried into it.
I'm actually very curious about there's no Stingrays in this game at all. Not to say that, Stingray is still like a super all-powerful special, but just for that left push like we were talking about, a Stingray is, very, very strong on keeping the enemy out while you're making that push.
Yeah, but at the same time, a burst bomb will do almost the exact same effect.
True.
paint the top of the box, it stops that left push in its tracks.
Right now, it's going to be Wicked Ink's struggle to try and take out that jet. They have to definitely, since they're not having anything that outranges that jet currently, they're going to have to work together as a team to divide that jet's attention and get them down.
Here we see the toxin miss, which is another great way of stopping that push. Having the toxin miss just on that box makes it impossible to make the jump. You slow down too much to make anything happen from it. You just have to wait for it to disperse.
Yeah, it's definitely probably a good comp choice on their part, but unfortunately there's no one really here to defend that push. Everyone on Electric Boogaloo is kind of hanging back, and now they have to fight Wicked Ink on trying to get it out of there, but it's still a thing where Electric Boogaloo somewhat has the advantage here.
Yep, for sure. So we're going to see, hopefully, a quick switch going this right side, which it seems like they're focusing on as opposed to the more lucrative left side. And I say that, and it looks like they're shifting exactly to that left side.
Like, hey, the left side push is where everyone wants to go, but I'm wondering to see if they get that sponge push. If everyone's here on the left, at least if you're going to try left, there's no problem in getting the sponge up and then kind of making a quick divergence to the right and going on the sponge and getting just as many points.
Yeah, for sure. The sponge route is definitely the underutilized of all the possible routes here on the Rainmaker shipyard.
Unfortunately, going down there to the jet, and like I was saying, they're going to have to really work to team up on that jet since they don't have any other options to outrange it.
Oh, that shield coming up just in time to block the Rainmaker shot.
Very good. Well, I'm glad to see that I'm guessing the Brella's there to shield the Rainmaker, if anything. Unfortunately, missing the jump. But I'm wondering to see that no one really seems to be in their pit right now, so I'm wondering if they're going to actually take the sponge.
Oh, look, they were eyeing that sponge route for sure.
Still 3 down right now, and if they can get that inkjet going, they could definitely hold the bunch pressure, but choosing to drop it for the sake of picking up the Rainmaker.
We're getting a sweet double right there.
Right now, in true to form, going offense and just applying a ton of pressure on Wicked Ink and keeping them, just pushing them back on the spawn, but unfortunately dying to the Tri-Slosher who's trying to push them out.
That's what we're really going with Ink's favor right here, is being able to stop the aggression. Oh, and just like that, a double comes out from the bomb. They're able to get the Rainmaker, get it out of their base, and start refocusing, be able to reset back to that neutral state, and start gaining up that coverage, and start looking whether they want to go that left route for quick points and try and quickly gain back those points, which I think they only have to touch that second platform in order to get the lead here.
Yeah, thankfully for Wicked Ink, it's not a super strong lead, and it's not a super easy lead to hold for Electric Boogaloo to hold. So definitely Wicked Ink, especially with the map control that they're showing right now, could easily take this back, especially if they are trying to stick to this left route that they're trying to take right now.
Oh, and the platform goes down.
Oh, man. The Dapples, I believe that is putts, fortunately being able to stop that push right there.
Go offense, quickly getting that Rainmaker out of their base, ensuring that they have to reset and go back from scratch in order to make a push happen.
1 minute left in the match, and right now it's still looking like Wicked Ink's holding control of mid right now. It's mostly just, I guess, a battle for mid and trying to push into that pit, which can honestly be hard because it's kind of somewhat easy to defend because, once again, you have to drop into the enemy's pit and they can see you coming.
For sure. So it's definitely in Electric Boogaloo's favor right now to just kind of hold out and stall out this Rainmaker. Play it a bit safe. I do see go off and sitting on this grid. Makes pushes out of here very difficult. Because you not only have to pop it and get into it, you're limited on the routes you can get out of it, which makes it very easy to defend this the opposing team.
Electric Boogaloo actually making a very smart decision in getting it the Rainmaker, even though it does reset now, it's still kind of a pain to get it from under that bridge. They have to pop it or wait for it to reset, which with 10 seconds less, they have to either pop it and get it from under there, as they're just wasting time.
Yep, so we do see, I believe it's the Dapples who are holding the Rainmaker right now. So we're losing a little bit of that frontline aggression for the sake of getting something out of this push.
The Jet goes down. There's 3 down on Electric Boogaloo right now. They really just need to honestly see if they can get that fast sponge push and just move forward. Fortunately, Inkjet from Electric Boogaloo, they're getting stuck in ink, and they're very weak, and they are going to go down.
Just like that, that ties us all up.
Unfortunately, I really think that at the end there, they should have just, gunned it. I don't know if maybe they were waiting on something or waiting for more specials. But I definitely think they had the lead at that last push right there with 3 down on the side of Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, for sure. Now we are getting right into Tower Control Piranha Pit. Tell me about this map. I haven't been able to play this map too much.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
I was going to ask your opinion.
Well, I of course have had plenty of experience from Splatoon 1 on Piranha Pit, but that is almost an entirely different animal here in Splatoon 2.
I think it's interesting how they've tried to make the map more, I guess, utilize more of the map. Because, it's a very turf war designed map where you want to go on the sides and ink up as much as possible. But in ranked battles and competitive Splatoon, you're mostly staying in the mid and kind of using a little of the sides, mostly just for stingraying and getting grinding special. And so for TC, I feel like the main difference really that from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2 is the ramps more than anything, because E-Leaders and Dynamos used to camp those ramps, especially Blasters too. With Lunas, they used to camp those ramps a ton. But now that the ramps are further apart and they're not as close to their spawn, it kind of is against a campier play style than it used to be. Wondering if we're going to see any classic Stingrays out here in the tower control.
Oh, I would hope so, because if there's definitely a map that's well catered to Stingrays, it's Piranha Pit. It's very long, centrally focused, and it has that very convenient area to build up your special.
Exactly. No Stingray on the side of Wicked Ink. Very curious, but there is actually no. There's still not one on the side of. There are no Stingrays in this match at all. I thought that was a regular clash.
Well, it all works out. There's still a lot of that same composition as they had before. A lot of short range aggression. They're looking to get into the other opponent's face as quickly as they can, and just paint. Paint. That is the name of the game that they're running for both teams, really.
Definitely wanting to know about what the decision regarding the Clash is. Clash, honestly, hasn't really been a super meta-heavy weapon, and especially if not going for it for the Stingray at least, I can't imagine what the Tenta Missiles are going to be used for.
The Tenta Missiles are definitely good for just breaking up positions. So whenever you see a group of players camping out in a certain area, just throwing Tenta Missiles, it doesn't even have to splat, just leave. Get out of my hair. I don't want you in this position. I want you elsewhere so that way I can pick you up and talk about stuff.
Can definitely say that compared to Ink Strike from the first game, the Tenta Missiles are a lot better at disrupting enemies, and we'll be getting especially those long range options to get them out of the way compared to Ink Strike from the first game.
Sure. And we definitely see both these teams really kind of hammering against each other, neither getting a solid lead that the other is looking for. We do see Electric Boogaloo getting into that jump for the first time. They're able to get that initial lead until the other opponent team clears it.
Right now, it just seems like Wicked Ink can't seem to get enough of Electric Boogaloo down to get out of their spawn and get control of the map. They seem to kind of be struggling to just push them out slowly, and that allows Electric Boogaloo to just slowly keep coming back and keep up that pressure.
Yep. That all said, we do see Wolf getting a sweet double kill. Can they get the triple? They got the delayed triple.
Nice. They'll make it a quad?
Oh, is it? I believe in you, Wolf.
Spencer with the clutch lead, though. Wondering if we can see Wicked Ink hold it. Right now, the map's looking pretty green, and I really think that right now Wicked Ink needs to focus on inking primarily.
Slowing down a little bit as this push is starting to go in favor of Wicked Ink. Regroup, push up, start limiting the options with after this push. Kind of sacrifice that first checkpoint in order to get the map to stop it at that first checkpoint.
Right now, it does seem like Wicked Ink manages to stop this push. They're using a lot of their specials just to keep them out and not really saving them for pushes, which I suppose for right now is kind of working in their favor. But when they're making these pushes and they're wanting to keep the enemies back, they're going to have a hard time.
Yep, but at the same time, there's a lot of map here. So popping them early and then holding out for that last pass of the push, you definitely have that extra strategy of having multiple specials chaining out, so starting the push and going to the middle of the push.
Right now, the Wicked Ink actually is making a very strong push, getting to the second checkpoint, which honestly on Piranha Pit and trying to get to that past that bin when the spawn's right there can be really difficult to get past.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Getting past that second checkpoint is almost the final nail in the coffin. You're either at that point knocking it out or you're chunking up the win.
You're seeing Electric Boogaloo. This is sorry, it's so hard to remember. But Electric Boogaloo is currently having to get back on their feet. They're using a lot of rain to get that map control back in their favor that they had so strongly.
Wait, what?
Spectator mode in classic form. But it's looking like that Electric Boogaloo is able to keep Wicked Ink back in their spawn right now. I think this is where definitely the place to use their specials, especially the Tinta Missiles, to probably keep them off. And unfortunately going off the map and dropping the special. However, they are coming up to the second checkpoint, and if Wolf can stay on the tower here and at least stay alive just a little bit longer to get that checkpoint through, they will get the lead.
You see it is now a 1-point game with only a minute left.
There's 3 down actually on the side of Wicked Ink, and it looks like it might be the lead for Electric Boogaloo. Unfortunately, that is the lead. Inkjet from Wicked Ink, I think right there that was But right now we're seeing Wicked Ink just struggling to get map control back. They're having to get a bunch of ink, and the thing with large maps like this is that when you need that map control back, it's so much of it to get.
Yeah, for sure. Especially whenever you're running a short-range comp like both these teams are, it's difficult without just scattering through the winds and then opening yourself up for a lot of those 2v1s that are not in your favor.
Right now, it's looking like the Umbrella is just rushing people down and making sure that they can't get the map control that they need back, putting a lot of rain and just ending it just like that.
And with that, we do see Electric Boogaloo going up 2-1 against Wicked Ink.
I think both sides played really well. I think there were just, a few small mistakes on some parts. But otherwise, I think it was a very good match from both sides.
For sure, for sure. So now we get to see, Clan Blitz Snapper Canal. So it is almost no secret that I love Clan Blitz. How do you feel about it?
I think Clan Blitz, I enjoy Clan Blitz in truth. I don't think it's a totally bad mode. I think everyone's just still used to just having 3 modes for so long.
Sure. It's new, it's different, therefore evil. Yeah.
Because, we all felt the same way about Rainmaker for a long time. But I think Clan Blitz, the only kind of real, problem with it is the whole, the jump cheese. How we were complaining about jump cheese back with Quick Respawn in Splatoon 1. Clan Blitz has its own jump cheese.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a cheese, and cheese is meant to go bad.
Exactly. I think it's certainly a preventable strategy. You just have to, hold strong defense and be ready for it.
Constant vigilance, that's right. You always have to be watching out, because if it is that kind of strategy where the other team is constantly using the baller as the only means of their push, that means the best way of stopping all of their pushes is to take out the baller before it's a baller.
Yeah, exactly. Either you stop it before it starts, or you wear Object Shredder to take out that baller faster, and then even then the ball that they're trying to carry drops, or you shred the ball before it can get anywhere near the goal, and then the push is shut down just like that.
Yep, and sometimes you have to sacrifice that 1 power clam instead of 3. So one thing I definitely want to see both these teams do as we go into this match is which team has the better management of the individual clams themselves, because that's really the main key that I see a lot of teams struggling with. It's easy for teams to build up one power clam and hold on to it, build up 2 power clams and hold on to it. It's another thing to have all of the power clams, because that's really how you prevent the other team from doing anything.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, one strategy I like to do personally is like if I'm holding the power clam using it as like a black backline option, I'll let all of the other frontline people go forward, and I'll just go collect clams, so at least the enemy doesn't get to them. It's a very, like I guess not so a strat, but hey, the enemy can't get points to score if you're holding on to all of them already.
That's right. It's another fun mechanic of Clam Blitz is the fact that the respawn points try to strike a balance between the left and right side of the map. So if you're constantly taking out clams on your side, that means they spawn more frequently on your side, which means they're not spawning on the opposing side.
Exactly. All the more reason to get those clams. And I also think that oh shoot, what was I trying to say? I'm sorry, I can't remember what I was trying to say.
But that all said, we do see a push coming on the side of Wicked Ink using those bubbles as shields to get in a power clam straight into the basket. It doesn't look like they're going to have a whole lot of opportunity to capitalize on multiple clams on top of this. Maybe get a few more singles, but essentially this was a push to just set the stage. It's going to make it so that way Electric Boogaloo has to be aggressive at this point for the rest of the match.
Yeah, the awkward thing about Clam Blitz is that, like, between you having to manage your clams, having to call out to your teammates, hey, I have 9, oh, I have 10, or, I have 4, we could sneak around and try and get a jump off or something like that. There's so much more micromanaging to do compared to any other mode.
And here we see Electric Boogaloo quickly with a very fast collection of clams, making a very strong push with their single push in as well.
Personally, I feel compared to other modes, Clam Blitz can be a really hard mode to come back from, because it's not as in having to defend an objective necessarily, because even while you're making your push, you're having to also find the enemies and keep them, from coming and stopping your push. At the same time, you're having your teammates trying to run and get more clams so that you can keep the basket open and keep scoring so you can get the lead back.
Yes, because there is a certain benefit of slowly putting in your clams in to make sure that area stays up for as long as possible, as opposed to throwing everything at once. But with
yeah, just like that.
Just like that, has their own strong push in the reverse as well.
The fortunate thing is that when too many people go down in Clam Blitz, since you get that pity ball from when your barrier is open, if the other team can get the middle back really fast, get a lot of map control, get their specials, get all their clams going, and be sitting by the basket instantly and get that pushback, which we pretty much saw from Electric Boogaloo just now.
Yep, full offense having plenty of clams going down just shy. Oh, only 1 clam left in order to take that lead.
Using a nice usage of bubbles, but can they get 1 clam in? And they do, unfortunately, out of ink. And it is a very back and forth match right now with honestly a really high-scoring lead here.
Yep, going down to 17. I believe that is only 4 clams more that they have to get in.
Thankfully, Wicked Ink is seeming to be able to kind of recover from that. The timer for the clam basket going down a lot faster. Right now, I'm seeing Pylon, or is it Pylon? Sorry. If they can sneak around here, which they seem to be doing, and trying to get a clam, maybe they can kill Lycanroc, steal one off of them, and score it in the basket right there.
Spencer jumping into Pylon there.
Looks like the bubbles didn't quite land where they wanted them to or needed them to, except there's still 3 people down on Electric Boogaloo right now. And, it looks like actually Electric Boogaloo were, scored while they weren't looking.
Yep, and that's kind of the trade-off that you have oftentimes in Clam Blitz is trying to make those cheesy pushes. You're ooping off yourself very strongly for a counter push right afterwards. So if you don't succeed, there's a lot at stake.
Yeah, it's like a mode where you have to do use a lot more brain power to get to things like you said. If while you're making your push, you need to be making sure that the enemy's not trying to sneak by. Have someone on defense, so with holding the ball maybe, so that they can jump in, but also see hey, someone's coming. I need to stop this real fast.
Wolf coming in with basically a double kill with a near full wipe on the side of Wicked Ink, allowing them to possibly come in with another jump. I don't think they have enough plans to win that just yet, unless they all pulled them together at once.
Right now, it seems like they have more than enough to at least pull one together and get 1 power clam going, which they do. And at this point, it's just collecting a bunch of clams so that they're not, getting everyone down, and then they have no clams to score. full wipe on the side of Wicked Inc., unfortunately. I think they're just really struggling to get back in on Snap It Now, which I can understand. It's kind of like Cramp Triggerfish in the way that you need to kind of like get hold of both sides in order to hold a strong defense. And right now, it's just seeming like they're having a lot of difficulty pushing Electric Boogaloo out.
Yeah, getting a potentially strong push here with 14 plants in their back pocket. Definitely enough to get in, clear out that penalty.
Right now, we're seeing a lot of special team use here. It's 3 down on the side of Electric Boogaloo. All he has to do is throw that clam. There's 2 clams. This could be, oh man, come on, do it. Oh, he does. Oh no, save it. Okay, he did it. 3 down on the side of Electric Boogaloo again. Right now, their main focus needs to be getting those clams in the basket before Electric Boogaloo respawns. Their basket is going to close. He has to land right now and throw it. Oh, one more clam! One more clam!
One more clam!
Oh, one more clam! No, it looks like everyone, unfortunately, on Wicked Inc. has died. He's throwing, he's running and running for his life, but
so
unfortunately
close.
Cannot make it. Ah. Unfortunate. I was really, really wondering to see if they could get that. Unfortunately, I think they probably didn't mean to throw the clam to the jet since, you know, you can't use it while you're in your special. Otherwise, I think then that's when clamlets would be broken because you just fly over, fly over to the basket.
Yeah, for sure. I actually kind of like that play if it was intentional because it had the jump was going back right underneath the basket, so it allowed them a very safe power clam. They coming back down, immediately throw into the basket, build up the points. The unfortunate part was just that there was no one else to support it.
That's true.
Because they were up in the air, ending their inkjet at that point. Electric Boogaloo just came in and swept the floor of their team.